whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because I was sitting there thinking about scientists versus religious people, but also just scientists against scientists in general, just like fucking rap artists.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I mean, probably everywhere, but here, I'm in a group called Reno SYM, I don't know what the fuck that stands for, but it's Reno Hip Hop. And it's a whole bunch of local rappers that post their music videos, and they post shows that they're performing at, and they go, hey man, my album came out, or it's on Spotify, go check it out, let me know what you think. But everybody in that group, except for maybe the dude that started it because he's a promoter, not a rapper, as far as I know, he might be. Everybody just passively, aggressively going, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. They want to be the next rising star in Reno, but nobody says anything. So instead of being humble people, non-competitive people, like we should be in a utopian society where competition doesn't exist, instead we're not liking people's videos. We're not saying they suck. We're not giving them any fucking support whatsoever. And in the outside world, when I go to work, if somebody that goes, hey, I want to buy this, and I know for a fact, I go, look, don't buy it here. Go to Walmart or go somewhere else because it's way cheaper there. Because, yeah, okay, I work for this company, but their competition, I shop there. I'm not into competition like that. The only part of my life in which I'm competitive at all is in my music, and it sucks at the same time because it gives me an inferiority complex or God complex, whatever the fuck it is, where I believe that I'm better than all these motherfuckers, and I might be, and I might suck hardcore ass, but it's just like with the fucking scientists. They want to be that person. Right. They want to be the next person.
They want to be the one. Yeah. You know, and that's actually a good point, too, because I've thought about that quite a bit when I'm thinking about, like, label mates and stuff. You know, like, fucking back when Funk Volume was a thing, you have Hobson, Dizzy Wright, Swit. Like, that was the one I thought about the most whenever it came up in my mind. I just thought, Hobson is obviously the guy of this label. He's the one who
He did start it. He did kind of have an advantage.
Yeah, he started it. He held it together. I mean, he's the most famous. He's the most popular. I mean, even as Dizzy Wright,
he spearheaded that whole fucking thing.
Right. But I mean, even Dizzy Wright, like, he started growing in popularity. Like, he started, you know, really booming.
Dude, I think his music sucks.
Well, right. You and me don't like it, but I think there's a lot of people out there who actually, you know, knew more of Dizzy Wright than Hobson, as crazy as that is, you know, among the dumb people. And I just think to myself, I don't know how people can be on the same label as one another, because yeah, you're giving each other your support, like try to be bros or whatever, like, oh yeah man, you know, we're all on the same label, go team, like, oh, your album just dropped, yeah, it's fucking great album, blah blah blah. But I'm sure they're all secretly passive aggressively hoping that their album sells better than that label mates, and you know, their fucking shows, like, at the end of the day, who is the headliner? If the entire label went on tour at once, who's fucking leading the show, you know what I mean? Who's the person who closes the show? Who's the headlining act and who's just the openers? And I can't help but think to myself that whenever I'm thinking about labels and groups of rappers especially, because I'm so much of a lone wolf kind of person myself. I don't like to be on teams specifically because of that. Not because I can't work with a team, but just because I don't want to, and rather than be fake and passive aggressive about it, I would rather just tell my team members, like, look, I do way better alone, so fuck all y'all, good luck to you over here, I'm gonna go do this over here.
Well, dude, in the same dynamic, I mean, it did also work because, to an extent, Hobson had his own sound, the only person that sounded somewhat like him was Swizz.
Yeah.
I feel like the only competition that Hobson really had would have been Swizz. But Swizz had a whole bunch of problems, or whatever the hell was going on with him. So he never released an album, and that really bummed me out, because I was looking forward to a Swizz album.
Yeah.
But
like a full-on official album.
Yeah.
Because I think he did release one that I downloaded one time, but it was very... I don't think it was well promoted, and it wasn't much of a... Yeah.
Well, then Dizzy Wright was completely different than Hobson. And Jared Benton was... I don't even know if he ever did any personal stuff. He just kind of rapped.
Yeah, not really.
So, in that kind of dynamic, they're all on the same team, because if the label does well, they all do well. So that may have been it. Right now, in this whole Reno scene, we're all independent people without a label. So it's a lot more passive-aggressive. There are people here, there are musicians and rappers here that I respect, but there aren't very many. And their sound is also a lot different than mine. Like, I don't respect them because they sound differently than me. It makes it easier. But one of them is, he does traditional stuff. Like, he's super spiritual, kind of, I don't know, he talks about the stars and, like, using your brain and stuff like that. It's kind of like political, spiritual kind of sounding stuff.
Huh.
And it's really, it's like fast succession raps, like big words, rhyming and shit like that. It's like back in the day in, like, the 90s and before that, where they talked about science.
Okay.
So it's that kind of rap. And then there's this other group. Well, he's host Sway. You probably saw him at one of the...
Okay.
Yeah, you know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's... I haven't even listened to their shit. I just know Orlando, the guy that won that first Poetry Slam.
Right.
He's now... I don't know. He's one of the vocalists, if he's not the only one. They added him to the band 7 Out, which is... I don't know if you remember Sean. The other Sean. He's the black dude.
Oh, at your poetry slam.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I should have just said that, huh? So
the one other Sean, the black dude.
Yeah. So it's his band. Well, him and his friends, and they added Orlando to it. And I already know how Orlando writes, and I would like to see it. But I know those people, so I respect them. All these other people out here are just making the same formulaic, oh, we live in Reno, so we got to talk about getting drunk and bitches and money and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, step outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, hey, we live in Reno. It's really lovely and glorious living here. It's like, but it isn't, though. Like, homelessness is a really fucking high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings are shutting down. The housing market is rising. It's not nice living here at all. And I don't know how that kind of just ties into. That's why it's more of a competition too, because I don't rap. As far as I know, I don't rap like anybody else here, and that's because one, because I grew up in a small town, but two, because I grew up listening to Eminem and all of his personal stuff, and I listened to like 50 Cent and G-Unit and all them, but then it wasn't personal, it was just the same shit over and over again. I was just watching the same cum shot, just watching the same porno over and over again, and was like, I'm done watching this. And again, Atmosphere and St. Francis, they rap about personal stuff. Sometimes it gets a little repetitive, but I respect it a lot more than just, because there's like, I don't know, having 25 rappers rap about being alcoholics or having women problems and being broke compared to 1,000 rappers talking about the exact same thing, I'd much rather go with the 25.
Absolutely.
So I'd much rather pick amateur porn than having mainstream porn.
Absolutely. And I don't get it why... So Cody, he got this... some sort of streaming pad. I don't know exactly what it is. So you know what Twitch is, that
Yeah.
streaming thing. It was the thing that I checked up on earlier. Streamers, what they do is they have all sorts of shit that they need to navigate in order to make their Twitch stream as professional and as nice as possible. So they're constantly clicking around stuff, sending links out to people, going to different websites to bring up different like little aesthetics to their stream to be floating on their screen while they stream and stuff. And there's just a lot of buttons to be had. So I guess there's this streaming pad thing that Cody got where it has a bunch of fucking buttons.
Like, is it a physical thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a, you know those DJ pads where it's just like a block and it has just the rubber buttons on it?
Yeah, drum pads.
Okay, yeah, drum pads. Yeah. So
to a layman.
Fucking DJ pad. fucking if I know. So it's like one of
you mean
those.
You mean like a tampon that plays music?
That's it, just be a thing. So it's kind of like shampoo, only it's made out of plastic, and you press buttons and it makes drum beats. How is that related to shampoo at all?
What? Yeah, like
I didn't say that. You're right. It's more like conditioner.
It's made out of baby seals.
But that's how you should just open up the description of anything that you can't remember. Like, yeah, it's kind of like this, but it's not.
Oh, you know, it's made out of the stuff that people are dying for in Iraq.
Oh, what is that stuff?
Black.
Axe gum. Yeah, that's it.
Wait, Axe doesn't make gum, do they? Not yet. They probably will. For fresh breath.
Oh, I'm thinking of 5 gum.
Oh. That's fine. Dude.
They're both black.
Hey, Axe, if you ever listen to this, sponsor the fuck out of us, because I thought of shampoo before you guys did it. I should have said something. I don't know if you probably have cologne by now, but get some gum and some like breath mints, because I already buy your shit. So sponsor me and us. Sponsor our podcast. Okay. This podcast is sponsored by Axe Gum. Not yet a thing.
Yeah. This podcast is unofficially sponsored by, like Bo Burnham where he's doing the hot Cheeto.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor me. I just want them to.
Evasively cheesy.
Perfect. Anyway, this guy has this fucking streaming pad, and it's just like that drum pad, only it's they're plastic, almost glass-like buttons, because they're LED screens. Each one of these buttons is an LED screen that you can program.
They make those for music too.
Okay. So yeah, it's just like one of those, but what he can do with it is what he was telling me that he was going to do with it is that he was going to program each one of these buttons to a link, and this link would be just a general search result page of his favorite porn stars, and for the LED, like for what he would put on the LED would just be their picture. And you can like create folders and stuff, and you can create folders within folders. So he told me that he was just going to have just buttons of fucking all these porn star faces, that all just linked to all their videos. And we talk about this. It was the day that he showed me that stream pad, and he told me that he was going to do all this, and he's just telling me, oh yeah, imagine that you had this thing. Now imagine 16 of your favorite porn stars on this thing, blah blah blah. Like, oh, what's this porn star? Click. Oh, now you're at this page, and he's going off really excited. And the whole time he's going off, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I can even name 16 porn stars. I can probably name 5. No joke, because once you've seen them in one video, why the fuck would you ever want to watch them again? Like, you've seen it. You've seen what happens.
Holy shit. What the fuck is the matter with you? So you're telling me that you've never watched your favorite movie more than once? You make porn sound like celebrity clothes. They only wear it one time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And maybe if it was a good enough video, I'll revisit it a second, rarely a third time. But most of the time it's like, I've seen this. Why would I want to re-experience this?
Okay, look, you're contradicting the shit out of yourself right now. Because earlier you're like, yeah, I'm just watching it to nut. And now you're like, well, why would I mean, I understand, like the first time, you're like, yeah. The second time, you're like, I know what happens. All right. The third time, you're like, yeah. But at the same time, if you're just watching it for just a really quick goal, just to achieve it really quick, who gives a shit how many times you watch it? Like, you're not like an autistic kid. You're going to watch it. That's the only video you watch 50 times a day.
Because I can't achieve that goal if I've already achieved that goal to that video before.
Are you saying that, like, you need... I wonder if... Do they have twists in porn? They need to put, like, theme music?
Shyamalan starts making porn.
Or, yeah, they start putting the Jigsaw theme in there. Like, da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. You just watched a tranny porn. Holy fuck! Have they made a Jigsaw porn parody yet? They fucking need to.
You know what R34 is, right?
Rule 34?
Yeah. If it exists, porn does too. Like porn of that thing.
Oh, Rule 30. What's the one about... Oh, is that Rule? Okay, yeah. Okay, no, you're right. I'm thinking of the same thing. I've heard it phrased differently.
Oh. That was a very shitty way to phrase it.
It's all right. I have to say this, that when I was thinking of ideas for podcast shit, I was like thinking, dude, I mean, obviously eventually have guests, get Brennan's dumbass on here, do shit with Jared, because I am up for doing the video game thing, because we'd also have visuals for it.
Right.
But I was thinking we could play a game called Porn Star Alphabet.
What?
Okay, so I asked Christina to name porn stars once, and she named like 5, and it took her like 5 minutes. I named like 12 in a minute.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I'm fat.
It took me an hour to come up with those 5 that I came up with
Holy
when talking to Cody.
Well, you're not... Look, I'm fat. I live alone. I've been watching porn since I was like 12. My dad's a child molester. I don't know.
So, that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm into children, because I am 100% not. I'm saying I fucking hate children, actually, for the most part. Especially if they're bratty little disrespectful fuckheads.
Yeah.
But,
Dick Chibbles?
What?
Oh, I found a Saw movie sex parody